Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Car Addiction. So today is the day I go see my tuner. We had a lot of bad luck. There was a lot of things unknown and there was a lot of things that went wrong in that car, and Dan has been very patient with the car. He took his time, he did the work, and we're gonna go through the list of stuff that went off. So stay tuned. If this is your first time in my channel, I'm a huge Nissan enthusiast. I have three 300ZS twin turbos, R32 Skyline, and MR2, and I also have another 300ZS NA on the way coming in. Oh, and a Nissan hard body. So yeah, if you're 21 and younger, stop watching head video, talk to a female, don't be a car enthusiast. Is absolutely detrimental to your financial health. Now let's go see Dan at Scarborough. It's about an hour and a half drive from my house, so let's go. All right, I'm back to Zoom Automotive. Dan. He's the tuner. He's been working on the car, and there's a lot of things I thought it was good. And when he asked me a couple of questions and I didn't have a good answer for him, I basically told him, you know what, Dan, just go ahead. Like, just do whatever you're supposed to do. Don't ask me anything. I know nothing. Just start from scratch as if it's an unknown car and do it. So unfortunately, he found a lot of issues. And also fortunately, he found a lot of issues because now I know he knows, and we could fix it. We fixed 80-90% of them.
I'd say about 90% of everything.
There's
still a couple of things.
There's still a couple of things. I just told him, let's skip it to next winter. The car will be here and he will have a sweet time to do it. But until then, we just want to get on the road, enjoy. And so, Dan, can you walk us through the stuff?
The main stuff?
Yes.
So this box here is the box of fail items I found on this car.
Oh my God, you had a box.
These were your old control arms, nothing fancy there, just wear and tear, but here's the nitty gritty. So these are the pipes that go from the intercooler to the charge pipes. Yeah. As you can see, they're all dry rotted. Tap it.
This is hard.
Plastic. It's hard, right?
It's like PVC.
Yeah. So I've changed all of them. Some of them were cracking.
This is not good at all.
So I put a boost leak tester to it from one side to the other to see if it'll hold pressure. All I heard when I hooked up that boost leak tester is like
oh my. Here's the other kicker. I have a boost controller. When I idle, I always had minus 17 or minus 16 PSI in it, which is not bad when you're idling. And in my head, I always thought, I don't have a boost leak issue, but Dan...
That was a vacuum leak issue that you were mistaking for that, right? Because that's only gonna measure the vacuum like after the throttle plates.
Yeah.
But this is before the throttle plates. This side is only supposed to see pressure. You're not gonna see vacuum on this side of the piping, right?
So the way I was doing it is totally wrong.
Yeah, like it's not wrong, but like it won't eliminate all the possibilities like that. You gotta actually hook up a tester to it and put pressure to it, and it should hold pressure, just like a tire. Like you're filling a tire and hold that pressure. Yeah. It shouldn't bleed out or anything. So these are the ones I changed. This one is also pretty bad. It wasn't even clamped on all the way. You can see where the clamp goes. It was like kind of out. Yeah. So that's also obviously a problem. I even changed the two that come off of the turbo themselves to the hot pipe.
How did you get to it?
Oh man, you don't even want to know. I had to take apart all the harness, all the pipes. They were very tricky to get to, but it's a good thing we did these. They weren't in good condition either. This is the pipe that connects the blow-off valve to the charger piping. I don't know what the hell this is, but someone... So
I take no responsibility for this, or since I purchased the car, I purchased it like this. We never took the bumper off, so we never could see this massacre, but this is shameful. This is very shameful. I'm sorry, man.
Fuel filter, you had the incorrect fuel filter.
Yes, for the vehicle, that is mine. That I take full responsibility for it.
The boost control was plumbed in series with the factory boost control, so I removed these from the system. This could cause all sorts of overboosting issues or whatever. You don't have two different solenoids.
Definitely not.
So we have our AEM boost control taking care of the boost now. And just a few odds and ends, little vacuum hoses I replaced. I put some silicone ones in place. And then the spark plugs.
So let's talk about the spark plugs, because remember we had the discussion?
Yes. So these are the plugs that we found in the car. They weren't the incorrect plugs for this vehicle, but I noticed the gap was a little bit too wide and they're platinum plugs. And the heat range of these is still running the stock heat range. Okay. So I recommend for the power we're going to be pushing on this to run a 7 heat range and also a copper plug. Okay. Copper being the reason that it conducts electricity more better than say copper or say than platinum or iridium.
Yeah.
So like platinum, iridium is more for longevity, and in a car like this, you probably want to change your plugs out every year or so, every season, and these are cheap. Keep it running good. I recommend copper in this application.
And the copper plugs were like $5, so can't really go wrong with.
Can't go wrong. You can change them every year. They're not too hard to change out on this car either.
And this guy.
That was the hoses for your EGR, but you deleted the EGR,
yes, I did.
So
I did.
No point having clutter in there for no reason.
So these were, I guess, we're gonna say the easy stuff.
Yeah, you can see that's the straightforward stuff, the most obvious problems. There's also still a vacuum leak from one of the breather hoses at the back.
Okay.
We just can't get to it without removing the whole plenum. We have to remove it to get to it. So.
And also, once the plenum is removed, I have, is it both the banks or just the valve cover leak?
The valve cover is leaking oil. Some of that oil could be from the broken PCV hose, but I think it's a little excessive for it to be just that. So I'm pretty convinced about
I know for a fact the driver's side valve cover is leaking. It's just something you can't do without plugging the plenum, and we'll do it again. We'll do it again.
The electrical problems, another important thing I noticed. Someone installed these injectors, so obviously we had to change the clips for the injector plugs because these are the later style, and I believe you had the older style ones.
I did have the old style ones.
But whoever installed these, they just loosely twisted them together, and they weren't making a very good connection, and it was throwing injector codes. So I'm just like, you know what, we gotta see what's going on, and it's a good thing we found that.
Yeah.
So we soldered them up, they're good to go now. The knock sensor wiring, typically the sub harness for the knock sensor breaks apart on it, it goes bad.
Because it is the hottest place of the engine. There's no
knock sensor
airflow.
Sits in the middle of the V, so it's very hot in there. So it's a very common failure. 9 times out of 10, it's the harness that goes bad and not the sensor.
Yeah.
But if you're doing that job, just replace both
get it done.
You're there, right?
Yeah.
So in this scenario, I have to turn off the knock sensor because it's throwing a code.
Yeah.
And we just tune the timing and fuel very conservatively just to keep everything nice and safe because we don't have that extra.
We like to be a little bit more liberal.
And what else? The electrical is another thing. So let's go into the fuse box. Before I go to the fuse box, actually, this is all the unnecessary wires I found under the dash.
That's crazy. What are these?
So some of these are to do with someone installed a radio in there, then they didn't like the radio they had, then they wired another harness for the radio.
What is that?
And this, I just found it was going to nowhere. There was a couple of switches under the armrest that it was going to, but they weren't wired into anything. So might as well declutter since we're in there. We don't need it, so we got rid of it.
Wow, that's more than I thought it would be.
Other problems I noticed was at the fuse box.
So the fuse box is right over here where the driver foot panel is?
Driver foot well. I noticed that there was some 20 amp fuses where there should have been 10 amp fuses.
I didn't do it. I take notes.
Yeah, so after doing that, we pulled the fuses out and we found that some of the contacts on the fuse box were burnt and melted.
Yeah, because of the extra power going in there and whatnot.
Someone wired in a whole bunch of devices on one circuit and it overloaded it.
Yeah.
I suspect it might have done some damage to the wiring inside because I've been having problems with the consult port keep dropping out the connection. So I suspect that because of that, some wires might have been melted. So we ended up just wiring in another consult port directly to the ECU, and it's been working perfectly ever since I did that.
That's awesome. And I think I always wanted to get a new harness done.
Yeah, I think I would highly recommend a new harness.
So it just,
Rusty. Should get you by for the rest of this year, but
it will get me by for the rest of the year. It is on my list of to-do things. It's just a lot of money.
And I suspect too the alternator might either be on its way out or something's up with the wiring because the charging light indicator, the lamp on the dash, it's a little bit dim until you rev it up. But we put a test on it, the alternator passed with flying colors and is charging good. Something to do with the grounding or something.
It has to do with the grounding, or it has to do is I can almost put money on. It's just when we did the manual swap, I didn't put the proper manual alternator harness in. It still has the auto harness with some of the wires.
That's another thing we have to check.
Yeah, I actually have the alternator harness now from another parts car. It's in really good condition. It's just something we're gonna do in winter time.
Yeah,
when it comes back to you.
And another thing I noticed that's a little bit of a red flag for me. I also think it has something to do with wiring. We get 14.2 volts at the battery, but in the computer we're getting 13.2, so there's a voltage drop somewhere.
What?
That could be to do with bad grounding or just wiring that's frayed or worn out or poor connection, but we all know these harnesses, they get cooked and they go bad over time.
Yeah, it's very hot under that engine bay. It's very hot.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not
and-
easy to work, and it's one of those things where you do almost an engine out job and just tackle it all at once and make sure everything's done right.
Yeah. What else in the list?
Other than that, everything else.
Exhaust.
Exhaust, we did do the exhaust. We can't see it right now.
So here's an image of the X pipe. I needed a section of the exhaust where I found a secondary, a used exhaust, which was an H pipe. But Dan suggested he can make an X pipe, and I was like, you know what? I always wanted an X pipe, and let's get it done.
Yeah,
so he did a really good job. The welds and everything on that one is high quality, and it's a better flowing unit than an H pipe. But arguably H pipe sounds better when it's idling, but whatever.
It's on preference, so whatever.
Yeah,
the
it is.
X pipe has a little bit of a raspier sound to it, and
Yeah.
the H pipe will have a deeper tone to it.
A little bit more burble
Yeah,
than
the scavenging effect of the X pipe is a lot
far better.
Yeah.
It's not even an argument. All right, so is that it?
That's pretty much it.
Oh man. So it may sound not much, it was a lot. And thanks to Dan, you know, he did a lot. And yeah, so I'm gonna stop the video now. Just wait for next week's video where he tunes it. We're gonna tune it now. There will be a totally separate video. So hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. And Dan's contact info is at the bottom. If you are a Z guy in Ontario or GTA, you can reach out to him at the bottom. I will put Dan's Instagram and the shop address. Reach out to him and he will take care of you. See you next week.